and all in thrilling new living sound.
The area within a 30-mile radius is a designated Zoid battlefield. This zone is now restricted. Only competitors and personnel have authorized entry. Ready? Fight!
The Zoids franchise is something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time. It's the series that got me hooked on the Toonami block, but more importantly, the anime medium. Although I love Chaotic Sentry / Guardian Forces a lot more, I got my introduction to the brand with New Century Zero.
Go for it! Strike laser claw!
Something about the mixture of giant animal robots, stupid fun, and overall excitement still pumps me up to this very day, even after seeing the show initially 14 years ago. While there are flaws with the narrative and cast of both series, above all else, I know there is one thing that the Zoids franchise did exceptionally well with, at least for Chaotic Sentry and New Century Zero, and that's 3D animation, or how it blends with its 2D components. It's pretty much known that if given an option, people including myself would choose the standard anime look over that of its CG counterpart. I mean, it's definitely one of the reasons on why people come back to this style of animation. However, one thing I will always disagree on in regards to both styles is that CG animation sucks. While yes, I prefer standard animation, and I know that CG has a lot of bad moments, especially when blended with 2D elements, to say that all CG based animation is bad is incredibly biased. Besides being misinformed, the anime industry and computer generated animation still can create some beautiful results as well. Ufotable is relying a lot on computer generated digital effects work, blending it with standard animation to create what many believe to be the best looking shows each year. The Sanrio brand and Studio Goonies are taking advantage of CG by creating beautiful sets and performances in both seasons of Show by Rock. Heck, even Polygon Pictures and Sans again are using almost entirely CG techniques, and some of the works produced by both look great. Just look at some aspects of Babuki Baranki and Ajin, and I'd say that it looks fine, aside from some frame rate issues which the Canipa effect talks about in this really well done video, link in the description. However, we're here to talk about Zoids, and how it utilizes CG to its fullest potential. What's up guys, it's Kent from Spartan Media Reviews, and today, let's talk about the Zoids franchise, 3D animation, and the technique of cel shading. Honestly, I don't find the overall production of Zoids to be anything noteworthy. Aside from the Zoids themselves, which we will get to later, the general animation of both series look to be typical for the late 90s and early 2000s. The designs of the characters capture that shonen / otherworldly-like aesthetic, the backgrounds look pretty minimalistic, and overall 2D animation is nothing exemplary for its time. Then we have the Zoids, and what I believe to be some of the best 3D animation still to this day. Despite it being reused a lot in both seasons, and I mean a lot, the actual animation revolving around the Zoid battles not only holds up to this very day, but also looks better than a lot of computer generated animation being made now. How is that possible? Technology has obviously improved to where we will see much better results when it comes to computer generated effects. It's one of the reasons as to why films like Avatar wouldn't be possible 10 years before it was created. Then why does Zoids hold up so well in this department? It pretty much boils down to the blending of 3D and 2D animation, or the idea of cel shading. Considering I'm not an animation buff, even though I pretend to be one in my objective reviews, I do know that cel shading is the process of rendering a 3D object with two-dimensional components, like flat colors and shadows, to make the object appear to be two-dimensional. It's been used in gaming series like Beautiful Joe, Okami, Wind Waker, and so on. Cel shading can also be used to merge three-dimensional and two-dimensional planes more seamlessly. This is where the Zoids franchise shines, at least with its first two installments of Chaotic Sentry Guardian Forces and New Century Zero. While the later installments of Zoids Fuse Wars and Zoids Genesis improved in the actual creation of 3D animation, the overall look of the battles, but especially the Zoids, suffered a lot more in my opinion. It just goes to show how much of an effect cel shading had on the quality of the Zoid models and just how seamless it blended with the 2D environments and characters. It also helps that numerous studios and its many employees at the time worked on creating the 3D aspects, only behind that of key animation. A couple months ago, for a feature I was producing, I conducted an audio interview with Stacy Fox, an animation professor at my alma mater, Michigan State University. And while this snippet was on the beauty of stop motion animation, the same ideas can be applied to the process of standard 3D animation, to that of something like cel shaded CG in the Zoids case in terms of seeing a visual beauty between the two styles.
They're so beautiful, one, because they're shooting frame by frame, so they're really paying attention to detail. Also, it's not CGI as far as when you look at a main character, you're not looking at something that was created out of a mesh in Maya or 3D Max. You're actually looking at something that was handcrafted. It gives more realism, more depth, and I think the eye really, we can tell the difference when something's a beautiful handcrafted table looks much different under light than a CGI table, as well as you can do it with the rendering process.
So, all in all, while I love two-dimensional mecha fights a lot, considering one of my favorite scenes in all of anime is Asuka versus the mass-produced Evas, something about the look of the Zoids franchise just hooks me in and never lets go. The Zoids franchise is something I personally love a lot, and I would like to see it receive more exposure. I honestly believe that it is one of the better mecha series out there, in terms of diverging from the norm, and as far as Chaotic Sentry goes, contains a really solid adventure story with some memorable characters. Or I could just be blinded by nostalgia. I don't know. If you would like to watch any of the Zoids series, currently they are all unlicensed at this time, which sucks, but a quick Google search will still help you find what you're looking for. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe for more anime related content and follow me on Twitter as well as Kitsu if you're interested. I'm Kent from Spartan Media Reviews, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching.
I'm the man in my city, ain't nobody with me. You can ask the real and all the bad. I'm a known dealer. I always had 50s, and the thugs and the killers was all in class with me. Incessant, so 26s, watching some television. Shouty, I'm never slipping. Got the envision and ready to pop the clipping, ready to get the tripping, ready to show these folks a celebrity. Pedal stolen automobile with the roof and the tag missing. Police is trying to pursue me, it's nothing but gas giving. Addicted to fast living. Guess I'm one of my dad's cheering. Think I'm bad now, you should've seen me before I had cheering. Get your daddy daughter.